What's up guys, Garrett here with Infinite Respawn Gaming. Beyond All Reason has a lot of maps, but sometimes you want even more. So today we're going to go over a few commands you can use to switch up the maps. For instance, on Azurite Shores, maybe we want the water to become lava. Maybe we want to invert it so that this is a giant hill and the low parts on the sides here. Or maybe we just want to flood the entire center so that the only land is the two mountainous passes over here. That is what we're going to go over today. There are things called battle setting commands that you can use to modify maps. So first off, !bset is how we prefix all of these commands. First one we're going to go over is simply inverting the height map. For that, we're going to do bset debugcommands invert map. And then you should see debug commands invert map pop up here. I'm going to start the game. I've just got an inactive comm, so nothing super exciting outside of just showing you what the change in the map is going to look like here. And if we zoom out here, we can see, let's adjust our angle. We can see that the height map has been adjusted, so the sides are over here, and this just completely changes the dynamic of the map. No naval units. It's kind of a fight for King of the Hill, because whoever has that has the high ground, and the advantages that come with that. But that is just a simple trick you can use on most of the maps to completely change the dynamic of the game. I'm going to go ahead and throw down my commander and then destroy him with Control B. For anyone who doesn't know, that's how you do a comm bomb. You have a 6-second timer here, or I thought it was typically 5, and then he'll explode. Pretty large radius. Just throwing that tip in there because I have a lot of people ask how to do comm bombs. Now, what if we didn't want to invert it? What if we actually wanted the map to stay the same, but the water to disappear? Well, first off, we need to reset this debug command, so we can do bset debug commands default, and that will remove the invert command for us. So now it's just going to be back to the standard map. But let's adjust the water level. So we'll say !bset map underscore water level. I don't know what the base elevation of this map is. We're just going to do -500 and hope that that's enough. Should be, but let's start and see. And if we adjust our view here and zoom out, we can see that there is no water. This is now just a 100% land map. Another way to just completely change the dynamic of how you would play this map. Now, something we're going to do real quick, we're going to go to settings, game, and then interface actually, and we want to make sure display map position is toggled on here. What that is going to do is when we place our commander and we have nothing selected, we'll be able to hover over the map, and in the bottom left corner it now displays the elevation level. So if we wanted to raise the water level, say just to the ramps here, so it's more of a naval map, you would hover over the ramps. We can see the elevations 767. We could kind of check the cliffs here and just make sure that's all aligned. Maybe like we'd want to do 750. And then you would, in the game, go back to the lobby, and instead of -500, you could set the water level to 750, and that would bring it up to the edges of the cliff here. So let's actually do that, because that kind of segues into the next command we want to show here, bset map underscore water level. And I'll have all these commands in the description as well. I don't know if I've said that already or not. I've tried to record this a few times. We will, what was it, 450? Was that it, or 750? I think it was 750? That seems high, but we'll do that, see what happens. So next command after the water level is changing the water to lava. So with that, we can do bset map underscore water is lava 1. And then we should get this new addition here, and that is going to say, hey, all of the water is now lava. Now, static lava maps are interesting, but we can further customize this by giving the lava a tide, so it drops down to a certain point and then rises back up to a certain point. So we're going to say bset map lava tide rhythm enabled. Next up, we want to set the lava high level and the lava low level, and these are going to correspond with the elevation levels on the map. So we'll do !bset map underscore lava high level, and we want that to be 750. And then we want to also say bset map lava low level. And let's say the water goes completely, or the lava goes completely away. Okay, it looks like 0 is the default for that. Cool. And we also need to set the time that it stays at each of those levels. So we'll say bset map underscore lava high dwell. And then we need the time that we want it to stay at that level. We're just gonna do 30 seconds for the sake of this video, because I don't want you guys to just sit there and watch the lava go away. So I'll do some cutting and post-production magic to make it look nice. But then we also want to set the bset map lava low dwell. We'll make this 240 so they have a nice, or did I not type that right? Bset map lava. Yeah, I had an extra L there. But we'll make that 240. Looks like the default's 300 for that. But that'll give it a nice chunk of time where there's no lava in the center. So maybe this is maps like a volcanic map and the volcano erupts and then it stops erupting. And then it erupts again and fills it back up with lava. But just an interesting dynamic to have on the map. So I think we've got enough stuff plugged in here. Let's ready up. So quick thing, I severely overestimated the water level that this was supposed to be at. Set it to 300. 750 covers the entire map. So just calling that out real quick. And there we go. Now we've got lava filling the entire center of the map, so not a lot of playable land. And then we've got our cliff edges here. I'm going to go ahead and play this for about 30 seconds, and then we can show the lava going down as well. So playing with comms is a little difficult. They don't understand the lava, and I think one of them walked into it and died, or might have just placed in it and died. So I've added 4 more. Hopefully some of them will stay on the cliff edges for 30 seconds so we can see the lava recede. If not, you guys will just have to trust me that the lava recedes here. So I've gone air and picked up my comm because I realized it might start at the low dwell and transition to the high dwell. And I didn't adjust the high dwell. So it's now gonna rise up to 700 and would kill my comm if he was on the ground. But the learning here is that you can set the lava at a midpoint between the low and the high, and it starts off on the low dwell. So it went up to 4 minutes, which is 240 seconds, which is our low dwell time, and then went up to the high level, which I did not adjust, which was still 750. So now there's almost nowhere to play on the map. I wonder how the enemy comm is still alive. He should be in the, like, there's no way he's smart enough to get up on one of those, right? There we go. Okay, cool. But those are some basics on how to adjust lava. Would have been a lot cooler seeing it go the other way, but you get the idea. I also had to add multiple comms because they're dumb and kept walking into the water and dying before the time, or before enough time passed. So just throwing that out. I'm not quite sure if the tide part works with water or if it only works with lava. So if we do bset map underscore water is lava 0. Okay, it just removes all of those other commands, so you cannot use titles with water. But let's say we want to increase the tidal power. We could do bset map underscore tidal high. And then that will set the tidal strength to high. I believe the default values for that are 23, maybe something like 17, 18, 19, and then 13, 14, 15, around there. I'm not going to show you that because the power isn't that interesting to look at, but you can adjust the tidal strength with low, medium, and high, or just use the default tidal strength on the map if it's already a water map. But those are just a few basic commands you can use. Look through the maps, decide which ones, hey, maybe I want to try this map with no water on it, maybe I want to try this map completely inverted, or maybe I just want to add a little bit of water and then convert it to lava, so it's a lava map. That with those combinations and all of the existing maps on VAR, you have endless possibilities of what you could play. Hope this helped out. If you learned something, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the cool information we're putting out. If you want to come hang out in the Infinite Respawn Discord, join the clan, and come play VAR with us, link to that is in the description. And I think that's about it for this, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.